What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another viewer-submitted World Tanks gameplay commentary. This time it is another replay from Beast, and it is in his T1. Apparently, he had a great game in this little T1, Tier 1 tank, in this Tier 1 match. Now, it is mines, and it will be standard battle because there is no other type of battle on this map. And one thing I do have to say is he's running pretty much the exact same, loadout, the same modules on his T1 that I run, and it is arguably the best setup. He has the rapid fire. I can't remember the caliber of the gun, but that can be solved very quickly by looking at the shell. 20 millimeter. It fires 3-round bursts and has an autoloader system to where he can fire 5 of those 3-round bursts, and that pretty much makes for a world of pain for anyone. More or less being able to kill any tank, any Tier 1 tank, in a full salvo. Now, I do notice he's not running any sort of equipment, a repair kit, health, or anything. And, that's fine because he said he is explicitly running this for ammo money. He just got his S14, and artillery, as everyone knows, is very expensive on the ammo costs. So, using equipment would almost be counterproductive in that sense. Now, me, I play my T1 for fun, so I run equipment. Not only that, I have premium, so there we go. We see that 3-round bursts. Let's see if he can't kill this fellow lull tractor. He's not really waiting to aim. It's because, well, to be honest, it takes quite a long time, and the French tanks function much in the same way. Their aim times tend to be a little up there, and so it isn't always conducive, especially if you're in closer. Wow. Unload everything! So it isn't always conducive to wait for that load. Sometimes it's just better to go full salvo and then retreat. Now, his team doing pretty even right now. Ooh, taking a pretty heavy hit right there. But he still has plenty of ammo, and if for those of you who haven't played a Tier 1 tank in a long time, if you recall, Tier 1 tanks have 0 ammo cost, and I'm pretty sure the repair bill is 0. Literally, they cost you nothing to run unless you use equipment like I do. And like I said, you only should really do that if you're doing it for fun. If you're doing it for money, it's counterproductive. But anyway, here we go. The enemy team having a large push up the center. If that's one thing I've noticed, it's that in a lot of Tier 1 matches, it will be people like Beast here, or like myself, either playing it for money for their higher tier tanks, or just playing it for flat out fun. So you start noticing, initially when I first started playing Tier 1 matches, I noticed there were a lot of new people, a lot of people doing noob things, just rushing out and playing. Very new, like people new to the game, and that's because it probably was. But the more I've played and the more the game has evolved over time, I guess, I've noticed that people actually are playing with strategy now in the lower tier matches. And that is most likely due to the fact it is higher tier, it's more experienced players playing in them, so they play them with a bit of strategy and are less prone to just run out and get themselves killed. Now, Beast here, almost dead, ammo racked, so that makes his reload time, I believe, 27 seconds, or at least close to it. He has almost as long of a reload as a high tier artillery, so certainly it's going to be fire then retreat, very much so. And also he is very close to death, so it's called sniping. Apparently someone was giving him a bit of flack for really not being out on the front lines when he has 1 kill, which is really doing better than some of his teammates. But yeah, it is called, there is nothing wrong with sniping and playing smart. Right here, there we go, that's what I was talking about. That full salvo, just going full automatic on that thing, firing all of 15 shots in the span of 5 seconds or less. I can't even, hey, I wasn't keeping track at the time. But up to 2 kills now, doing pretty well for himself. His team is winning currently. And, he's playing a bit smart here, taking cover, hiding behind those bushes, which the small Tier 1 tanks do a really good job of doing. They have quite the capacity to hide, and which is why I've put a camo net on mine, because I like playing the little sneaky tank that you don't see until the last second, then he unloads all of his shells right into you. So I've been known to do that before. In fact, I think in one of my T1 videos, I don't believe I've uploaded it, but I did something like that. So Yeah, it's a fun thing to do. Still, the team's very even here. Beast having to really play smart because of his ammo rack and because of his low health. So having to play the waiting game quite a bit here. The enemy team managing to close that gap. You know, his team was previously up by 2, then only up by 1, and now they're up by nothing. So the enemy team definitely doing a good job of keeping themselves in this game. Wow, one person, Skater Dude, I believe his name is, yeah, Skater Dude 916, apparently having, you know, almost a top gun at this point. And oh wow, another person on the enemy team having Marindu, both of them wall tractors, you know, arguably perhaps the best tier 1 tank. It's all a matter of preference though. But both of them having all of their team's kills. Wow. Those guys definitely pulling weight for their team. Both of them at 5 kills at this point, kind of battling for top gun. And here we go. Beast's team really losing their advantage that they did have to those 2 lull tractors. The enemy team, just those 2 tanks are pulling all of that weight. So I'm surprised their small frames aren't getting crushed underneath the weight of all that responsibility. Anyway, this game could really go either way. And it might be up to Beast here to win it for him. Apparently someone on his team saying, go, go, God, go. And Beast requesting help, very rightfully so. He is really alone. But to be honest, his team has a good spread. The only tank I would suggest moving is that tank in K4. Because he is so far back. He's not really going to be able to help all that much. Tier 1 tanks don't really have that great of accuracy at extreme distances, especially at the distance that I have no idea what that tank is, but that tank down in Kilo 4, oh, it's an F-17. Still, he really should move up, help his team in some capacity. Now, Beast's team, that MS1, perhaps trying to push up, really shouldn't be trying to do anything like that. And for those of you who might be wondering about these rocks, yes, you can drive in between them right there. If you notice to the right, if he looks over there in a second, actually, I'll look over there myself here. But right there, that little spot right there, you can drive right between that and a T1. How do I know? I've done it. But yeah, this lull tractor possibly going to kill this MS1 and get top gun. There we go. He got himself top gun, but his victory was short-lived. Now, Marindu getting himself killed, not really doing the smart thing and engaging in the open. But, ooh, wow. Beast really needs to back up here. Otherwise, wow. I guess that lull tractor coming to back up Beast and finishing him off. I did not realize previously, but that lull tractor on Beast's team, it was hiding in the bushes. Pretty much exactly what I was saying he should do, what I've done in the past, is play the role of that sneaky tank. You know, tier 1, there's no tank destroyers, but pretty much everyone can function in that role. Now, Beast here telling his team, I'm ammo racked, someone help me. And right here, the enemy team really just pushing forward. This MS1 perhaps gonna get on base. Nope, Beast has something very different to say about that. Choosing to not unload his last shell and instead do the early reload, probably the wise decision here. And definitely the enemy team not quite at the advantage they were previously, and that was that lull tractor that pushed up the center. I did not realize it, but was the other person, Skater Dude, that had the 5 kills. So the whole yeah, the enemy team has 12 kills now. One of the other teammates finally getting a kill. That would be Captain Mallerk. And an F-17 pushing up the center. The F-17 on Beast's team still proving to be rather less than helpful, sitting so far back that he's really not capable of providing any support when he really should be falling back to the base. I don't know, that guy must be AFK or something, but he really just is clueless. That lull tractor doing very well for himself. Beast's trying to get past that barrier, but he's so small he can't break it. Wow, that's kind of funny. Right here, he's going to utilize his cover, try to prevent this T1 from shooting him as accurately as he otherwise would be. And wow, full salvo. I love Beast's style. He is really just going all out. Every time he fires around, he makes sure to completely unload his magazine. And you know what? I think that's the proper way to play the T1. When you fire, you just go full auto, just hold nothing back and fire until you have to reload. So the LOL tractor in the center doing very well for himself. 3 kills at this point. Beast up to 5 kills with an ammo rack. So fast firing, slow reload, but apparently that doesn't matter. So much of this game, the reload is somewhat important, especially for someone like artillery. If you have a fast-firing artillery, that can be very potent. Hence the Batchat 155, why that is such a powerful weapon at times. I've been killed by it before. It is not a pleasant thing to get killed by, but so many times the reload, really a non-factor, especially if you get in those games of, you know, I'm going to take out and drive out, take a shot, and then fall back. You know, yeah, you might be a little impatient, and it might be a little annoying to have to wait so long before going back out. But, you know, as long as you have cover to fall back behind, reload really doesn't play too much of a factor. And now, if you're in open engagement doing a full-out brawl, as I would say, then, yeah, it matters. That reload time, having an extra couple seconds faster reload can make all the difference in the world. But, you know, that my style definitely tends to be more towards the cover system. Use that cover like Beast here has been doing, and fire, fall back. That's really the best option, in my opinion. It allows you to take the least amount of damage while dishing out the most damage if you know you have the slower reload. Now, if you are a tank with a fast reload, you should really be engaging people more on a brawling type of style. You know, go out there, take as many shots as you can at them, and really do your best to bounce their shells, obviously, but at the same time, utilize your faster reload. So, Beast here, kind of playing a bit cautiously. Can't blame him. He is still very near death. His team congratulating him, and Beast saying he will win. His team both are AFK. Just kill them. Okay, you should never listen to the enemy team. Now, the time is running out, so he doesn't have too much of a choice here. He does need to push for the F-17, the FT-17, I believe it is. I don't really pay that much attention. Yeah, the FT-17 proving to really finally move his butt off that K4 region, you know, finally proving to be somewhat useful. And they really need to push now, though. It is down to the final 2 minutes, 54 seconds, and Beast saying he has a 27-second reload. Definitely the case here. And wow, I just realized how much of a tank graveyard the center is. Look at all those burning tank husks. Oh man, that's such a beautiful sight to see. I love that. Every time you drive past a major engagement point, when you see all the dead tanks, that is always something that leaves me in a bit of awe. LOL Tractor and the F-17 and Beast here, wow, both of them at quite a bit more help, but proving, I don't know what they're doing right now. They're kind of dancing around. I have no idea what's going. What are they doing here? That LOL Tractor moving very slow. Maybe his engine is hit. Again, that's kind of why I carry a repair kit, and I carry everything actually on my tier 1. But that FT-17, come on, little ducky, you gotta move. You gotta help out this guy here. This FT-17, apparently a complete noob. This Beast saying FT-17, FT-17, stop. Okay, come on. James, let's move here, people. For those of you who aren't paying that much attention, James, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, is the FT-17. He really needs to get his act together and get a clue. I know he might be new to the game, but come on. How hard is it to figure out to read the chat? Seriously, even if you're new to the game, you should pay attention to the chat. And if you have no idea what's going on, you might want to listen to your team a little. That FT-17 clearly having no idea what's going on. It's up to Beast now. They're in the final minute. Well, just about to be in the final minute here. And really not having much of a choice. Beast has to move forward. It's really up to him at this point. And I think his team might end up losing here. Just simply because of time constraints. I mean, it's either going to be a loss or a draw. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's going to be a draw or a victory. But I find a victory very unlikely at this point. He is just such low health. And I think this might be a trap. The LOL Tractor sitting right on base, clearly not in his original position, but his back to the base. I'm not sure what he's doing there. And Beast, oh, doing the full salvo unload again. but not really able to kill that LOL tractor. Still playing very cautiously, you know, not making any assumptions about the condition of that LOL tractor, who is apparently really AFK. No, his turret appears to be turning, I can't tell exactly. His turret definitely looks like it's moving to me, though. So, yeah, Beast had a great game. Yeah, the turret, no, not moving. He is completely AFK. Beast getting his 6th kill. So, 2 people competing for top gun this round. And Beast, wow, time ran out. It's a draw. I have no idea where that final tank was, but had Beast's team had a bit more coordination. And to be honest, I'm going to kind of blame James here. He's really kind of the factor of why his team lost. Beast, certainly not so. Wow, quite a few tanks detected. 147 shots fired, 55 hitting the target. Accuracy, not too much of a concern. Base defense, 51, 6 kills. Now, who got the top gun? And it did give top gun to Beast. So typically, for those of you who aren't aware, top gun goes to the person. If 2 people have the same number of kills, top gun will go to the person who got more experience. So Beast, on a draw for a tier 1 on a non-premium account, that's actually pretty decent. That, especially considering it was a draw. Now, he made about 8,000 credits. That's going to be a nice little ammo bill, you know, and for him to, nice little credit income for him to pay his ammo bill on his S14. Definitely well played by Beast, just going full auto. I love it. Like I said, I think that's the proper way to play the tier 1, the T1, or really any tier 1 tank with an autoloader. So, but I'm not sure what other tanks have an autoloader. It might just be the T1. Anyway, I digress. If you liked this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And as always, if you got a replay like Beast here, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email in the description. And this has been Spang, and I'm signing off.